Hello everybody, welcome in the AZ-204. This is a Microsoft Certified Azure Developer Associate that I passed recently 1 month ago. It's my third certificate from the Microsoft. Before I passed 2 fundamentals, so AI 900 and AZ 900. And in this video I will describe my experience, a bit about the exam and what to do maybe next. So what was in the exam? The exam counts around 55 questions. I had around 38 standard questions, so A, B, C, D. You have either a single or multiple select answers. Then you have also, I had the 2 case studies, which is kind of similar, but it's a bit more complex. And total time I had 100 minutes netto, so yeah. This is just time for the answering the questions, yeah, without some surveys, some preparation, some whatever around. So when you divide both figures, then you have less than 2 minutes per question. This is very little time for careful reading, so it's important to be very focused and well prepared. So in my strategy, I was reading very carefully because there is a lot of tricky things, and this helped me a lot to gain initial points very well, but later I was under pressure because the time was running out and at the end was kind of a bit guessing. Yeah, but finally I passed. Is it hard? So in my opinion it's far more difficult than AZ-900 or AI-900 because there is huge scope, so there is so many resources. And also there are resources that are in the niche. So during the exam, I had 1 or 2 questions. That was not a lot, but the questions was about the service that I had actually not so much clue. Yeah, so it was a bit guessing or finding from the context. Another difficulty is that there is CLI SDK specifics. So you have to know how to code. Yeah, how to make the new blob storage, how to create the new web app, how to configure this. So this is required. I had to decide either go with the Python or C#. I took C#. I feel much more confident, but also you have to know the PowerShell and the Azure CLI, so more scripting. Another thing is that AZ-900 or AI-900, they are fundamental courses, which is popular not only among developers, but only the project managers, hobbyists, people, yeah, testers, and everybody, yeah, everybody who want to have kind of touch or certified thing to do with the Azure. Yeah. So because there is less resources and yeah, less demand, then yeah, each more sophisticated course is more hard. Another thing is that yeah, of course, this higher standard is associate with 2 stars. Compared to fundamentals is 1 star, so of course must be more difficult. And I would say also that security is hard. So to understand fully Enter ID, SAS, tokens, or service principals with some tricky things, then this is also hard to know well. And common questions, if you ask what can I expect in the exam. So in my opinion, what I discovered was that a lot of questions about Cosmos DB consistency level, so it's from eventual till strong. This is about the performance to reliability. Yeah? So eventual tier is the best performance. On the other side, strong is the slowest. It's still powerful, but it's the slowest. But it's the most reliable. So depends if you need to work on the sensitive, important data or something that can wait. Then there is a lot of questions about SDK creation of the AZ web apps. So web apps, but also containers, there is configuration, creation, deployment, and so on. Another thing, there is logs, how to get in real-time logs from the container or maybe web app, and so on. Another thing, there is Key Vault, so the strategic tool from Microsoft to keep the sensitive information. So some secrets, some passwords, some connection strings on. Then there is broad security, so Enter ID, the flag product for the security. There is RBAC, so role-based policy that if you need to download and check the logs, then you just need the read role, but yeah, on the other side, if you are a developer and you need to modify some stuff, then you need also contribute role. And there is SAS, this is temporary tokens to access some data usually. Then there is Azure Insights, and this is not only about logging, but that was interesting. It's also to understand the user behavior, how it works, what user clicks when he stops, how long he retains in the website. So it's super interesting actually from the marketing or pricing perspective. Then there is questions to understand the differences between the service bus, event grid, and event hub. Then blob storage, so the main place where you can keep the data. So not only the tiers, so you have cold, cool, archive, and hot, but also some nuances around, so soft delete or some logs. And last thing that I wrote here is the API management. So you have a few sections, inbound, outbound, error, and there is also one more. And it's about the handling request before or after a server, that to say the easiest. So either change the format, validate, or something. My preparation. So I started December last year, 2025, but this was a bit looking around and I was not fully sure when my exam will happen, but then mid-March I found more time to do. And I changed totally my strategy. So for AZ-900 or AA-900, I just check the documentation, the official Microsoft resources, and there are many other free resources, and those enough. But for AZ-204, which is associate, more difficult, then I decided to take some practical tests, paid practical tests that helped me a lot to learn more. But I didn't just read answers and questions, but also I read quite a lot around. If the question was about Enter ID, then I was reading a lot about the Enter ID, and I used Gemini or GPT to deep dive into the specific topics around here. So that was super helpful, and also I feel more clever now. And during all this process, I also had my notes, physical notes, paper notes. So I like writing, so it also helps me. And then in the exam day, I could review and check and repeat everything that I wrote. How certificates look? So it's like this. If you pass it, then you can find it under this link. And then you have a bit more beautiful view. So on this you can also link to your CV or LinkedIn, and you have nice page. And so what's interesting thing that I can say is that AZ-400 is now unlocked. So one of the prerequisites to attempt the certificate is to pass the Azure Developer Associate. Another idea is to have the Azure Administrator Associate. I think for me developer is much more interesting because I am developer, and administration is less fascinating for me. But I think administrator is more giving more doors to open. But yes. And what's very important to mention that Microsoft reworked the certificates. And now there is this AI boom, and Microsoft wants to align the ideas to the certificates. So this certificate AZ-204 is switching, or it's kind of already switched, to AI-200. And I was wondering, should I wait or not? This graphic was available 2 months ago, so also not super recent, maybe. It's quite recent, let's say. So in my situation, I decided to take the old certificate because last month and from March I had quite more space to learn. So if you have time, then use this time. And that time the certificate AI-200 was not so available. Currently it's in a beta version, but it's still not official, it can change. So it's about time. If you have time now or before, or you can still wait some time. Another thing is that there is no good available course, in my opinion, for AI-200. Yeah, so to wait more to get better preparations. Because in my opinion, we need to be well prepared to pass. And of course, the AZ-204 is not hot AI topic, but on the other side, there is market adoption. The certificate exists many years and it's for developers, and yeah, I am a developer. So in my opinion, it was a good move, but if I were to pass it in 6 months or 1 year, then perhaps I would change my mind. And here you have the small table, so you can see there is a lot of beta new certificates. So there is a big AI rebranding. So yeah, it looks like this. The red arrow is the old certificate that I passed, and the new is this green arrow. And what's the next? So as mentioned before a bit, so AZ-400 is unlocked. This is great. So now I can pass it to become the DevOps. DevOps is kind of also, I would call it developer plus. So usually it's more difficult to become DevOps. It's more paid role. And at some point, what I found in the LinkedIn, AZ-400 is much more valuable in the LinkedIn for the jobs than AZ-204. And AZ-200 is not planned to be reworked like AZ-204. So yeah, AZ-400 is more stable, not getting expired soon, but who knows. Another idea what to do is to take AI-103, which is about AI agents, which is quite a hot topic now, to build AI agent and so on. Previously there was AI-102 and it was in demand for AI roles. Now it's expiring and there is the new AI-103. Another idea is AZ-104, which is a bit, well, I don't want to criticize, but for developers it's a bit more boring. And then AZ-305 to become the architect. Architects are top paid in IT worlds, so yeah, it's an interesting position. It's getting more into business, and if one day you decide that, yeah, I don't want to code, then yeah, architects don't code a lot. So it's an interesting way, and yeah, they are usually more. And yeah, more or less like this. If you have questions, feel free to comment. I'll try to answer. I am still fresh with the knowledge, so yeah, happy to answers. If no more questions, then yeah, thank you for watching and see you next time.